a roller coaster of a day. Like the Fnatic game, the first one started out well, then went to shit, and then we made the comeback and won anyway. That was an amazing experience and a match I will remember forever.
I really like to play in America for their fans because they're cheering for us. And we feel more comfortable when we have some support in other countries, especially in America, so we like it.
The second Fnatic game obviously was the decider, and we as a team played better than ever, I'd say. We all had some important rounds to do, and we all did exactly what we were supposed to do.
We have 3 wins of 3 games. It's really a great performance by us. Nobody expects that because we are playing really bad in online last week. So I'm really proud of our team and our performance. I hope we will continue in playoff.
To be quite honest, there's nothing better than winning as a team, and not just because of some individual. So satisfying being in the semi-final in this amazing stadium.
We are getting better. We are not done yet for our full potential, but we will get it soon.
I'd say we are as strong as we seem. Obviously, it doesn't hurt us to have the crowd with us. It's a nice motivation factor, and we really want to give something back to all the guys that really show some support to us. I'm not afraid to say that we still have a gear or 2 even to go up in. If we can get an extra gear tomorrow or even play even better than that, then I honestly have no doubt that we can go into the final. And when you're in a final, everything can happen.
Just need to bring our confidence like we are playing just 3 games. If we will play in the same confidence, we can beat everyone.
Man, oh man, the crowd is already packed, ready for an early start for some fantastic Counter-Strike. They love the game and they're ready to love the teams as well. We'll be meeting them shortly. Our first semi-final is locked in. NaVi and Liquid are about to do battle to get closer and closer to lifting the 13th ESL 1 trophy just later on today. It's semi-final 1, NaVi and Liquid. We heard from both there in the video, and I think NaVi should be our first port of call today, gentlemen. Duncan, I was asking you just before we went on, I was like, where do you currently have them in your world rankings? How often do you release these? Every 3 months, every quarter?
Maybe like every month or 2.
Okay.
It's basically usually based on how many tournaments there are. If there's no tournaments, I don't update the rankings. Obviously, there's nothing to go off. So the interesting thing about NaVi is, for the first part of the year, okay, because they didn't win many tournaments, they only won counterpit, basically, people don't think of them as this great championship team. But you have to realize they were in almost every final for the first 6 months. There was like 1 tournament, which was actually the IM Katowice, where they just finished top 4. That was a bad tournament for them. Top 4. So as a result, unsurprisingly, even without winning tournaments, they were permanently in that #2 spot just all the time because the consistency was insane. Right. Even though the really good teams couldn't match up to that level. The problem for NaVi is in the last few months, okay, yeah, they had top 8 at the last major, yeah, they were top 4 at E-League, but they actually haven't won a big series over a top 10 ranked team in over 3 months. It's been a long time. So what they've been doing is they still take care of those lesser teams. They still beat down them, but when they get to the big matches now, they don't win at the moment. And now obviously, this is a new era anyway, and this is a new lineup. So even though I think NaVi, the name, it'll take a long time before that ever drops out in terms of the prestige value, but they have to kind of live up to where they were earlier in the year, I think.
There's still a lot to prove, no doubt, with this new roster, Yenko. And I mean, you said already they haven't picked up a series versus a top 10 team. These best of ones just yesterday surely was a little hint of what they should be capable of later on, wouldn't you say?
It definitely is. Looking at that team, I mean, looking at the players of the team, obviously a lot of firepower on it. I think today is, though, a whole different story for NaVi. As we briefly mentioned in the pre-show, this is where we have best of 3s, where we have only 1 veto before your opponent can pick a map. So now we'll definitely have situations where NaVi will have to play a map they're uncomfortable on, and that's where we'll have to see how they will actually perform.
It's going to be a big test, and talking of perform, you can see their performance so far in this tournament. They played just 3 maps, and so do note that as we do cast our eyes over the kills and deaths. ADR, of course, stands for average damage per round, and you know what's quite worth noticing is that there is actually a very small spread. I mean, if you look at the average damage per round, everyone is pulling their weight. We've seen some underperformances from other teams. Everyone is present here.
This is what you want if you're a NaVi fan, right? You want Guardian and Simple to be leading the way for the team. Flamey and Edward being the 3rd star, somewhere around there, and sees, I mean, now he's taking the in-game leader and the support role, so he's probably most of the time going to be at the bottom of that scoreboard, but that's fine. I mean, that's his job right now, and if everyone else is doing their job as well, NaVi will thrive.
it reads right if you're a NaVi fan. That's a nice way to put a little pin in NaVi. Sorry,
I mean, well, what makes it so interesting as well is usually when you bring someone into a team, like think of bringing Pimp into Liquid, you're saying, right, we've got an established team, we want you to fit in and do this over here. The crazy thing is, NaVi already had Flamey and Guardian, who earlier in the year were some of the absolute top 5 players in the world. So the crazy thing about the Simple pickup is they're bringing him in to be the best player in their team and be the best player in the world. And at the moment, he's living up to it this LAN. Like if they win this tournament, he will almost certainly be the MVP. So this is exactly what he wanted for so long, and this is what they as a team needed to get over that hump I was talking about, the semis, the finals, and win a big tournament.
And NaVi's new addition has a fantastic little treat perhaps lined up for him. He could very well be lifting the trophy on his birthday. Simple turns 19 today, and that could be a nice little treat for him, is lifting that ESL 1 trophy. Of course, there's a big, very scary 2 teams standing in his way. Semi-final 1, we'll be seeing if he can get that birthday present. We'll see if he deserves it after his performance in our first semi-final. Now they need an opponent, and Liquid have had no problems in stating their mark on CS recently. We saw them in Columbus, we saw them in Cologne. Simple, in fact, among the ranks. That's what makes this oh so tasty and delightful if you're a sucker for those kind of those storylines, those sitcoms, those very, very kind of spicy Simple and Hiko love story. You've seen in the dank memes, and now we need to talk about Liquid. Let's bring them up, and we'll address the North American side that I have seen an abundance of shirts. I feel like there's more Liquid fans here than anyone else. I don't know why that's surprising, but there's a whole lot of blue in the crowd. Now, I'll start with you, Duncan. This is a team that has been forged over a long period of time. These names have not come together instantly.
Yeah, especially because people forget this, okay? Simple was so insane when he came in again as the stand-in for that Cologne major. People forget that was the first, well, the second event for JDM, actually, and that was a big upheaval himself. Leaving CLG, where he'd been for so long, moving to a brand new team that had never played around a really good dedicated AWPer, and so he himself's had to adjust to things. And so this is a team that you have put together piece by piece by piece, and now eventually you've got the pieces in place where you look like you can be a very good team. And it's actually, interestingly enough, in that gap, that vacuum that Simple left, it's Liege that's actually stepped forward. He at the moment is having a fantastic tournament, great numbers across the board, really high amount of kills per round, low deaths per round, really good differential. And of all the players in the team, he's the star player at the moment. It's not JDM. JDM's playing a very stable role. Hiko's actually, like, in theory, the worst player of the team at the moment. So, yeah, you can see the numbers here.
And looking what Pim said in that interview, that he feels that they have another gear or two, I think that's true in a sense that, look at JDM's performance at this tournament. You can't say that he's been really underperforming, but nothing to write home about pretty much, right? He has been quiet for his standards. What we saw in Cologne, it was him breaking out and basically cementing that title of being the best AWPer in North America, pretty much. So if he can step up his game, I feel that might be the X factor for Liquid in this game against NaVi.
Now, I mean, JDM, we have seen him have these explosive games before. In fact, you saw it pop up before. We've seen these teams meet in ESL 1 Cologne, and Liquid, but picking that victory up was certainly something that not many people at the desk were anticipating. I do want to run with what Pimp was saying, just because you've highlighted that in that video, Janko. He said, winning as a team feels so much better than winning as individuals. Now, what is he kind of alluding to there, do you think? I mean, he's just suggesting that he hasn't had that experience before. Is this a new feeling for Pimp? I
think he means more that they won the game as a team, in a sense that they played together, they made good reads, Peacemaker helped them out a lot, and it was everyone needed to contribute. It wasn't just about Liege having a great game with getting the kills. Well, on the other hand, you might win a game, but solely based off of individual performances, right? Someone opening up a lot of rounds for you. Maybe look at how the old Fnatic used to win games, right? So that's more satisfying in a sense that you feel that everyone contributed and that you generally outplayed the other team as a whole.
And it will have to be a team effort from both should they pick up this victory and lock themselves in for the grand final, because it is time for the Barclays Center to meet the teams. That's right, it is time to get NaVi and Liquid up on stage. So over to Paul to guide us through these two titans of Counter-Strike.
Yes, thank you very much, Alex. Welcome, everyone, to ESL 1 New York. It is semi-finals day and grand finals day. The crowd are ready. The players are ready. It is time to introduce you to our first team. They are a team with success written all over them. In fact, they were born to win. They play in yellow. They've already been a major runner-up in 2016. Please welcome NaVi! Okay, we have our first semi-final team. Our second semi-final team and their opponents are very much the home-supported team. Already a runner-up at a major in 2016 as well. Please welcome Team Liquid. There we have it then. Our two first semi-final teams are here on the stage once more. Semi-final number 1 takes place between NaVi and Team Liquid.
Oh man, thank you so much, Paul. NaVi and Liquid have made their presence known, and they're going to go ahead and get that mouse and keyboard in their grasp, because it's not long until this first semi-final does kick off. We've had an opportunity to kind of set the scene, show you the lay of the land, and I do think it's nice to start navigating now, Duncan, Yenko, to the discussion of where this goes. Now, we haven't talked about maps yet, and I feel like that's where we should start this discussion next, because you've already made it abundantly clear that maps are going to be a huge determining factor, especially coming in towards NaVi and their recent kind of hit and miss results.
Well, here's the key thing, because we know NaVi historically, they refuse to play Cash.
Yes.
Cash and Nuke are two maps they will always ban if the opportunity, but it will be a first ban under Cash. So the question is, not do they think Team Liquid will play Cash, it's what does Team Liquid do with that? Because Team Liquid has shown, as they did at the Major, that they will sometimes play Nuke. So this is an option for them. They can pick Nuke if they want and know it is available. Team Liquid, on the other hand, mainly banning Overpass and Mirage at the moment. I would actually expect, from the way the games have gone so far, I think they should do the Mirage ban, actually. I think that's the better one to do right now, because I don't think NaVi will first pick Overpass. I think NaVi's heading towards something more like a Train, something around kind of that realm.
Before we get too far into it, because we will be picking it up in just a moment, I do want to just run with that. NaVi never picking Cash. Is this something that a lot of CS teams have fallen into, just basically, okay, we have a 6-map pool. Is it something you can get away with, or is the arrival of Nuke turned everything's upside down for more than just NaVi, Yenko?
I think the biggest problem is that NaVi way back when Nuke was still in the pool at the same time, they did play Cash, but they were absolutely terrible on the map. So once they got Nuke out of the pool, they felt like, okay, this is a chance for us to not play this map anymore. But the problem for them is that Cash is one of those maps where I actually always thought NaVi would be a great team at. When you look at how they work as a team, how they function, I was kind of surprised that they disliked the map so much. This is where they have a problem, though, because I also think that they will ban Cash over Nuke, but if they have to play Nuke, NaVi is one of those teams that never played it. So for a team like Astralis that doesn't play it right now, they played it before, so they still have some sense of individually what to do on the map and so forth. NaVi doesn't even have that, so I would actually like if Liquid picks Nuke here.
And I could be wrong. Duncan, you're better at this than me. Nuke, I'm pretty sure Liquid were not afraid of playing Nuke in Cologne. I'm pretty sure
they played it against NaVi. This is actually a map that they won, because if you remember, NaVi won the first map, then Liquid won Nuke, and then the decider was Cobblestone. I mean, obviously, one of the sexiest parts of the storyline here is not just the Liquid versus Hiko thing. It's that these two teams, literally, 9 of these players played in Cologne, and the difference maker in the series was a guy called Simple, who is now on NaVi. So it's kind of like, it's not going to be the same match that we saw there. There's some remnants of that, obviously, but I certainly think maps are a key detail here, because the problem is NaVi used to be in that SKVP group where you're like, they have the super deep mill. That's why they could get away with the Cash ban. But the problem is, this NaVi is a lot more like Liquid. They sort of have like 3 maps they want to play, and they want to head towards us. That's why I'm saying, to me, I'd go with the gamble if I'm Liquid, that like, I'll leave Overpass for like a 3rd map if needs be, and I can probably ban it 2nd rotation. Whereas Mirage, I'm pretty sure NaVi will straight pick Mirage if it's available here.
Well, it looks like we've begun. That's a fantastic start. So we've got Overpass removed. You can continue now.
Okay, so they've allowed allowed Mirage in here, so it's almost certainly going to be the cash pit ban here, and then presumably Liquid picks first. Okay, this is what we get. Do they pick Nuke, or do they go? I mean, where else can you go here? Could go Dust 2. That's Quaz.
I think Cobble.
Cobble.
I think Cobble is
NaVi's actually been banning Cobble a little bit recently. Liquid themselves have banned it on occasion. They have picked Cobble here. Okay. So now it's really on NaVi. Does NaVi want to do the Mirage pick? You'd think at this point, it's Mirage or Train, basically, they're probably picking between. So I think Mirage probably, because it's been the map that's overall looked the strongest. They've gone with Train, actually trying to go more towards the weakness of Liquid at the moment. They're saying they're not that good on that. Liquid did play it against G2 and won there, but G2's had kind of an underwhelming tournament overall. NaVi, again, just like VP, they've always had that great T-side on this map. Admittedly, the in-game leader change might change that, but you have to figure like it's a decent map. So far, I actually think we've got maps that both people can play. So now second rotation, you're thinking, now that Mirage didn't come, if I'm the Liquid guys, I'd probably just get Mirage out here. I don't see the point in keeping it in. And then you know, in theory, now that you didn't pick it, should be a nuke ban from NaVi. And so we'll end up at the end. So here we go, Mirage ban.
So Liquid could get Dust 2 for a third time.
As the decider.
As the decider.
Yeah.
The thing here is, I think what's also important...
Kind of expected, I think.
Important that we take note of is the team that picks the map, the opponent picks the side.
Yeah.
So Liquid, although they have to play Train, they get the benefit of starting on the CT side. I think that here, when you look at the Liquid Cobble pick, they're probably not as comfortable to pick Nuke, but they're more comfortable playing Cobble. And we saw in Pro League even that NaVi, Cobble is still not one of their comfort picks when it comes to playing with Simple. They had that really close game against Penta, winning only on overtime. So I think that's a more suited pick for Liquid.
I also think that shows the difference that Starix is kind of having to be excluded, and even having to prepare like that has done, because the guys from NaVi on T-side of Cobble were incredible. They were so good. They could win any game from any emphasis. So the fact they don't even play it, but here's another detail. Team Liquid has not played Cobble in this tournament. We have not seen them play offline with this lineup on Cobbles. Now, maybe they're banking on like surprise factor. They won't know what we're like, but that also means you can't be in great form yourself, and you haven't got the execution down. So I think this first map is really up in the air. I think this is probably the most up in the air of all three.
So, okay, so let's run with that then. If that is the up in the air one, does that mean the others are going to be winning their picks? So to Train to NaVi, you see Dust 2 potentially.
Yeah, I think Train goes to NaVi. I think that one I'm reasonably comfortable in. The Dust 2 one, here's the thing. I don't think either team's fantastic on Dust 2. So for me, that just comes down to classic Dust 2 play, which is individual plays, Opus take over the game, what happens on T-side. It's those three factors for that one. So if we can get the Dust 2, very exciting. Could be a really, really great game. But I think for Liquid, you've got to secure Cobble. You can't just like risk that you have to steal Train away from NaVi.
You talk about individual plays. Now, while we have got the maps locked in, we'll continue this discussion. I do want to just do a side-by-side comparison of the two stars so far from both of these teams. Don't forget, you see the discrepancy there. NaVi played a lot less games. They were the first team to be locked in the playoffs. They picked up all 3 wins back-to-back, and so there will be discrepancy in kills. But keep your eyes on that ADR and that KDA. You can be calculating yourself. But yeah, 65 to 41, and then 116. That's one. I think that might very well be the highest kills we've seen so far in New York. That's an obscene number.
This is actually, yeah, that's true, but also this is one of the rare situations where I think that headshot percentage is actually an interesting stat.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Simple, he has over 60%, and he's the secondary opper of the team, so he gets a couple of op kills which are most body shots, so that means his pistol and rifle kills are mostly headshots. Obviously saying how dominant he is when it comes to those duels. I think across the board, Scream has the highest, it's like 64%. So this is an extremely high ratio.
I think that's actually going to be a key detail, because we know Simple's a fantastic pistol player. It's going to be hard to win pistol rounds for Liquid here. We know they've got good players. Nitro, for example, has very good pistol aim, but I think NaVi probably has the best pistol players in the world. They have unreal individuals.
While you were talking about Simple, you were talking to me about a quite intriguing kind of his performance, his stat in terms of like his ratio of deaths to kills. Could you kind of put that into perspective?
Well, here's one of the interesting things. The stat that I actually really like is average kills per round, because usually you can see by that basically who the best fraggers are. But it's not just about how many kills you get. It's about both ends of the equation. Do you get a lot of kills, but you give up a lot of deaths? So, for example, people like Olaf Meister, in general, the differential won't be huge, okay? They'll get a lot of kills, they'll give up a lot of deaths, and in doing so, what they do is they create situations that then someone like a Crims just plays safe and takes out the rest of the round. Their idea is someone else cleans up. Someone like Simple and Coldzera is prime, like at the majors, they have this insane differential where they're getting as many kills as anyone in the world, and they're getting like the fewest deaths as well. And so they're just dominating both ends of the game. They're giving you nothing, they're taking everything. It's very hard to play against. That's the kind of player that wins a game by themselves.
Yanko, we're about to ask the caster for their predictions, but just going to mix things up and ask you first. Could you give me your expectations for this best of 3 before we head to the casters and find out theirs?
I think that Liquid has shown that they had something in store for this tournament. They're prepared for this LAN, and they played really well throughout. I have to give them cobbles simply because I wasn't impressed from what I saw from NaVi so far on the map, but I think overall the series will go to NaVi.
Believing in NaVi. And now, before I do ask Duncan, and of course, we'll ask the crowd as well, we're going to go ahead and head over to the casters to find out exactly who the people that are going to be guiding you through the game are expecting to see how it plays out.
Well, then, once again, we're at the casting desk asking us for insight about how the game is going to go.
Makes sense. They had a rough day yesterday.
They did have, and just on that basis, I think I'm just going to predict the opposite of what they did. I feel like that's a safe bet at this point. I'm just going to go the other way. It's science, really. Yeah, well, I mean, it feels bad because it's Simple's, what, 19th birthday, they said? I mean, he's got to be 21 to drink here in the States, and after Liquid just beats him out of this arena, he's going to want a couple of them. Oh, those are some really big words. I like that. Well, look, I mean, we were on the Liquid train together yesterday. I'm just going to stay on it. Yeah, I'm just going to stay on it. Liquid for both of us. Oh. I really do wish that room was on fire, as there, once again, we do see Moses selling out alongside Anders.
Moses hasn't thought it through. There'll always be a drink available. There's a little half pint like him hanging around.
Yes, indeed, there is somewhere in the Big Apple. And now, Duncan, I asked Janko before, I'm going to be asking you. Are you going to be joining the NaVi train?
It's very famous about my persona. What I do is I pander to the crowd. I'm like, oh, guys, believe in your dreams. Anything could happen. Like, you could be president one day.
Off for ESL 1?
But actually, I'm going to say that the problem I have here is Liquid hasn't played this map offline yet. Online results, first of all, it's in EPLNA. It's not like they're playing in Europe as well. Yeah. I'm not a believer yet. They've got to really show it to me. They've got to bring it on this map and it'd be fantastic. So even though, sure, it's a very up-in-the-air map, I'm going to have to say NaVi's going to win this one.
So it does seem like the consensus is Cobble is the test.
Oh, the crowd's cheering because they don't want Liquid to win. Yes. NaVi, NaVi, NaVi. No.
It might have something to do with Hiko being on screen as well. There's definitely a correlation between...
I thought it was my magnetic personality.
Absolutely. We're going to be taking our break. Before we do, though, this semi-final is about to kick off. And a big thank you to one of our sponsors that made it all possible. It's Alienware that have enabled us to make this event happen alongside others. So a big thank you to them. And they're actually offering a huge discount. I saw it tweeted at like $1,000 off of their most recent release. So do be sure to check it out if you're in the market for a high-end gaming laptop. All right, we're going to take a break. And our semi-final is about to go down. We think NaVi could get themselves to another final, no stranger to it, or will the home favourites ride once more into the glorious grand final? We'll find out after our break.
ESL 1 New York is brought to you in part by Alienware, Microsoft, CyberPower PC, Logitech G, PaySafeCard, The Score Esports, and NVIDIA.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first semi-final here at ESL 1 New York. It's Liquid and NaVi playing here on the stage, and it is going to be unreal. So many storylines and so much to talk about. Moses, are you ready for it?
I'm getting there. After that Liquid we saw yesterday, questions about them coming into this event. They've struggled in the region in North America, but they seemed to put everything together yesterday against Fnatic, taking them out twice. That's no joke.
It's very, very impressive, obviously. And they're not the only North American team to do well. Obviously, we saw Optic try their very best yesterday and definitely put up a really great performance. So, generally speaking, North American Counter-Strike is becoming more and more interesting and exciting.
Yeah, the end of 2016 has been great for these North American teams. Tarek has been a breath of life into that Optic roster, and they had such a good showing at this event. Bummer that they didn't get to make it into the semis, but you can't ask for too much if you're an NA fan.
No, you know, one step at a time. But
baby steps.
The teams, they are already firing up right here. Looks like we're going to have NaVi starting on the terrorist side, and it's going to be Team Liquid on the CT side. So I hope you're all ready for it, because it's going to go live right now. Cobblestone are going to be a huge challenge for Team Liquid. It seems like pretty much every map will. We're going to see how it unfolds here. Welcome to the show. NaVi already out with a smoke and a Molotov, suggesting that they're going to go for something slightly more elaborate, and they've got Edward ready and waiting to make sure that there are no shenanigans coming out of Pimp. A bit of a flash in, and Seized already pushed back a little bit.
Timing aggression for Liquid to take control. They want to know exactly what's coming over towards that B site. Pimp is the next one up, and he's got to be careful falling back. Oh, he gets stuck, but he wins that battle anyways. That's a good recovery for him, put in a spot of danger, but comes out on top.
See, if they hadn't peeked, then maybe he would have kept walking and they could have caught him even further out. He's going to be falling back around the corner. Timing a little bit scary then, but it works out just fine. So a man advantage for Team Liquid, and look at the push coming out over at the B bomb side. It does get pushed back a little bit, but that's going to put some worry, I think, into NaVi, and they have to go for this execute at some point.
Well, even though Elise and JDM fall back, that shrinks the map. It cuts the map in half for NaVi. They don't even have drop control. Hiko's going to have a quick rotate over as the smoke comes in. Two players in the A site. Nitro taking that range battle advantage to the USP. Oh! Simple is gone off the server.
What a click coming out, and Pimp is in the back line here. They've got such a huge advantage. Surely NaVi can't bring this one back. Nitro finding another kill. Seized and Flamey, and Seized with one more kill. And just like that, a snap of a finger, and we're back into a 2-on-2. The bomb is going to go down with 25 seconds left, and now the flank is coming through. JDM and Leash both coming up the slope here. They got to be worried, because they're actually walking into a really hard crossfire to break. Flamey over by a log, and Seized has picked up a USP. He's up on the site, already taking a couple of shots. In Liquid, they're really worried about this. They spot out Flamey, and a great shot coming out, and JDM with the follow-up. Team Liquid gonna pick up the pistol.
Sick retake, sick flank, well-played pistol round, even though it gets scary. Nitro with two huge shots, but you can see how quickly this can turn around in the favor of NaVi. Three very fast kills are almost deflating. And that's the Nitro they're gonna need, the Nitro from yesterday, not the Nitro from the first day. They need that Nitro who was the star player against Fnatic, who carried them to some of those wins.
Yes, he was very, very impressive, because otherwise we would have been looking to Elige or JDM, but they obviously need to be there too. But I think Nitro sometimes could be an unknown quantity, but he definitely did play well against Fnatic. NaVi, they put the bomb down, and yet they pick up tech lines and deagles and everything here. What do you think about that?
Normally you see it go for the AKs in the third round when you get the bomb plant, especially considering Guardian wants to have that AWP. Some good chip damage onto Guardian as well, down to 44 with those HE nades. It's aggressive, but I mean, this is the thing. Liquid did lose a couple of these rounds of Fnatic yesterday, so maybe NaVi sees that and they say, let's try and take advantage of it as well. Issue is they don't have any smoke, so it's going to have to be this deagle of Simple, which we know is dangerous to open something up.
They shoot his teammates. That is funny. Right now, we've got a lot of SMGs on the Liquid side, so I mean, the gamble right now for NaVi could be working out against the armor. These could be a little bit less effective. The UMP, though, still fairly good. There's going to be a kill coming through, but Guardian answering back, and now up in the bomb side itself, Pimp very lonesome for some backup. They are going to be trying to come in. Seized getting caught as well. Pimp out in the open, but Elige here with the big M4, the only really heavy rifle they got, and it's going to be a quick double kill for him. Locking down Simple, straight headshot, takes down one. Not going to get the second. Triple for Elige, and fairly good backup, and oh, someone came prepared.
I love it. I love it. Well, we saw in Cologne was a big grow-up period, a big grow-up event for Elige, where we really saw him develop as a player. Now this performance he's putting in at New York, starting to solidify himself as such a strong star on this team.
I'm realizing, Moses, that means you're not the only bald eagle in the arena. Definitely appreciate that.
Share the wealth. More Deagle onto Edward and Simple again with that. Still not out of the danger. I mean, the issue with Simple is whenever, especially with the Deagle, whenever he has it, even though he doesn't have armor, it's still such a dangerous period. Anything can happen here. No utility. I'm sure NaVi would love to have a flashbang to go through this smoke because they are grouped up right behind it. It's going to come down to timing for Hiko defending against this.
I mean, these SMGs, if they weren't that good last round, this round they definitely are. Without the armor, it's going to be very difficult. Hiko here doesn't look like he's trying to overextend either, and even if he goes down, there are two more people on the bomb side. They're going to come around the corner there, and Hiko not taking any risks, playing this one very safely. Bit of a weird flashbang, but the follow-up Molotov should buy a little bit of space here, and Simple out of the round. Edward to follow. Elige doing really good work right now, and Hiko deciding he wants a little bit of the pie as well. That's going to be 3-0 here for the home team.
We saw some weakness yesterday from Liquid and the anti-ecos, and these two, they only dropped 2 players. So they get away with some bank built up, especially that next round where the SMGs come out. Because they don't have to spend too much money, because of this bonus money, JDM and Pimp, they immediately bust out the double op setup, which is interesting, because we actually saw Nitro with the second op on Dust 2 yesterday, and he was phenomenal with it.
And I think we even had the discussion about Pimp as a secondary AWP because none of us wanted him as the primary. Yeah. But we'll see what he can do. The challenge is going to be a rough run because they're fighting Guardian, and there's definitely a chance that it could take everything they got Liquid to bring down Guardian. And what a shot coming out. The flashbang was perfect for NaVi. That was dead on, and now JDM going to be sneaking Guardian right around the corner. He's almost got the shot, and there it is. JDM taking him down. That's 2-0, and Liquid, they're on the harder side of the map right now. If they can win this round, it's going to be unbelievable. Simple going to be taking out one, but JDM there to reply.
Yeah, and Hiko now guarding towards drop. That's stellar. Go for more. He spots the head. He does fall, but Flamey's at 20 HP. What more can he do? Elige is there to clean it up. Quick 4-0. And we should say one thing that was not mentioned too much about this Liquid team is Peacemaker. We know how much coaches have been crippled recently, but Peacemaker, the game plans he put together for this team in Cologne after a short time, and now here in New York coming in, you see the aggressive pistol round where Liquid cuts the map in half for NaVi. Now you have a double op setup where both AWPs over towards the A bomb site. He's putting together a situation where Liquid, that some of this early aggression is giving them great advantages.
Oh, Pimp ready with the grenade down. They don't have armor on half the team, and that's going to be a great way to clean up the UMP. Picking up 2, almost going to be a little bit more there. Nitro in the back line is Simple. You pointed it out, Moses, and just giving us a little taste here of what he can do. And this is really important for NaVi. Even if they don't win this round, which is highly unlikely, they need to cut into that Liquid economy, which still hasn't really taken off yet. So one more kill, and this could be quite a good round for NaVi.
Yeah, it'd be a very expensive round for Team Liquid, and it's very, very doable. And you can see now Liquid knows it, already losing 2 players. Everyone's passive. Elige not even being aggressive, just watching for the fallback. Smart from Team Liquid, though. Don't give them any more kills. Just force them to commit into a site before you have to take these battles. But even with 4 HP, look at the confidence on Simple with this Deagle. Waiting for a chance to spot JDM. There's Hiko spamming through the smoke. He's not going to find anything, and Simple's going to get aggressive. Almost catches him, gives up the position. Elige, that's the bomb, so there's really no more danger. It's just Simple, if he gets 1 more kill, that's where this starts to get troubling for Liquid.
And obviously it's going to be, oh, what a shot coming through, actually. How did he win that fight? He has not got the bomb, but he's going to pick up the AWP. I wonder if they're going to give him space to save it, because obviously that would be interesting going into the next round. But he's already going quite aggressive. He doesn't want to run down the clock, and that's the risk. If the time runs out and he dies afterwards, he's not going to get the loss bonus, and suddenly things are a little bit tricky.
Well, he has the money for armor and utility in the next round, so he's going to be fine not getting any of that money because he can drop that over to Guardian, who can trade him an AK, and he'll be just fine. So, I mean, Simple makes that not necessarily dangerous in terms of losing it, but dangerous for the future. 3 rebuys on the Liquid side is going to eat into that money. So that 5-0 lead is a little bit tenuous now, because if they lose and get reset, NaVi can catch up very quickly.
Liquid playing it safe at the end in that 3v1, not sort of risking anything. They know Simple is a dangerous player, and they're not going to try and give anything up to him. And
we talk about the rebuys a lot. Well, I mean, Liquid's wanted this double op setup. They now have to buy right back into that, so that's a lot of money invested into 2 AWPs.
Should point out as well that we're starting the 6th round. The Unleash hasn't gone down yet. Now, hopefully we're not cursing him, but he is at 8-1-0 right now. So he's definitely stepping up, and that's obviously really big news for Liquid. We'll see if NaVi can get a bit of a better start this time. Surely can't be too many rounds before they get that entry, and once they have it, we'll see if Liquid can adjust accordingly. That's something that's very hard to do on Cobblestone when you're a man down on the CT side.
Guardian takes a shot there. He has that lined up. That's just a timing shot. And oh, he's gonna, oh, no, he's not. How does Pimp win that one? Tag down to 18, a leg shot. Extremely fortunate, but Guardian's out of the fight.
I mean, Guardian looked like a genius then. The timing couldn't have been better, and you're absolutely right. NaVi, they definitely have that angle on lockdown now. Liquid falling back again to a very defensive position. Just Nitro here with a bit of a jump, trying to see if he can make it work. They are moving up with the bomb leading, in fact. Flamey all the way at the top of the ramp here. Got to be very careful. Pimp going to be peeking in. There's a good shot. Taking down Seized, and Liquid. They're doing so much damage to NaVi, who have no answer right now. The grenades are coming in from the terrorist side. They want to try and see if they can make their way through. Pimp picking up one more kill. He's not quite going to get the 3rd one, but still, the damage has been done. Simple out of the round, and Edward, he can't secure it. That's 6-0. And Starix, I think, probably calling the timeout here, saying it's time for everybody to cool down a little bit, and let's get back in this game.
This double op setup from Liquid is vicious. Wondering how Pimp was going to do. We saw Nitro with it, and now actually 3 ops on the Liquid side, which is pretty crazy, but I mean, these have just been picking off NaVi before they can get even set up. Guardian is the one that they're allowing to have time to try and go for those initial fights. He lost that battle in the previous round, so NaVi can find no early success. That's the success that Fnatic had against Team Liquid yesterday, is at some point in those matches, they kind of turned it around and they started winning all the early battles, and Liquid really, really struggled to recover from playing in man-down situations. They have no issues with that this time because no one's dying early on in the round.
For a lot of the history of this map, in its latest iteration, we have seen a lot of really fast B hits. And now it's been 6 rounds in a row. NaVi haven't really tried it. Any chance they'll change the pace here? And I'm asking specifically because you mentioned the 3 orbs that are saved. If they go into B and the orbs start missing, that could get bad real quick for Liquid. Yeah,
that could be extremely dangerous. On the other hand, I mean, maybe Team Liquid saying, okay, if they're going to go with this slow style, we'll get the extra op. So yeah, fast pace would change that. The question is, I don't think NaVi's never going to expect that they switch into 3 AWPs. That's really the tough part. And actually, it is interesting. Talk about game plan of the coaches. Maybe NaVi trying to set up success over at the A site to early on in this half to ensure that Liquid has to keep a 2nd player over at A. And then that weakens the B defense. That leaves only 3 players there. It's a little bit thinned out. So maybe that's their game plan coming into it, but it's not working. So what's the adjustment that Starix makes here?
Yeah, I'm very curious. They've been losing that fight to Pimp quite a bit, and he's such a forward player over at A long that they get the information real quick about what's going on. We are going to head into the 7th round. If you're just joining us, you're in time for the semifinals here at ESL 1 New York. It's Liquid versus NaVi, and right now Liquid doing such a good job. And Pimp, again, shutting down Edward and going to be trying to fall back. He's missing the kill there. Simple catching him, and that's just a smart maneuver. But Nitro jumps down, no scope. We're in New York and not Hollywood Nitro. What is happening?
Welcome to North American Counter-Strike. NaVi not expecting that whatsoever, but Nitro, he doesn't realize there's one more. Almost recovers in time. This is going to pull Elige back towards the B bomb site, but this is the changeup that NaVi did. Simple with 1 flashbang, virtually rushing through those double doors to punish Pimp with that advanced position. He gets the 1 kill, but Simple is there to trade it off. But now this is on our razor's edge. Liquid, they have to figure out what's coming because NaVi is readjusting, and Guardian has plenty of time to find a pick in this A bomb site.
What is the logic here? They'll never expect us to pick up 3 orbs and push with 1 of them? I mean, they certainly didn't.
I mean, no one would expect that, so the logic is sound.
Can't really argue with that one. It is going to be on the B bomb side. Elige holding strong, and he has been a monster on here, but they're actually going to wrap around through drop in towards A, and look who's not looking the right way. It's Hiko right down there. He needs to turn around. Oh, he's going to get the warning from JDM. Great cover. Simple coming in with a strong headshot, but oh, his old teammate right underneath him. Hiko picking up Simple. And Guardian now in a 1-on-2 with 20 seconds. The bomb is right up there. Hiko gonna get the headshot, closing out the round and continuing the streak. 7 rounds in a row.
The adjustment works, and Pimp gets that 1 kill, a stellar shot. This from Nitro, that might just be too much. You're not gonna see that play too frequently, so back on to just double ops for the Liquid side. We saw a stat out of them during the pause that Pimp actually right now has 140 ADR.
I can't believe it. Can't believe it. They are going to be trying for the change of pace, finally rushing into the site. Hiko there to pick off 1. Can they get a little bit more here, Liquid, before NaVi get too close? It's Flamey to pick up 1 and a second kill too, doing really good work. And in the back line, Simple with that Deagle. This is where they can't afford to give him too much space to work with. They need to shut him down quick. They have the Molotovs for the chicken coop. This is not necessarily a great position, but he's picked up the AWP, and the bomb is down for a 3-on-3 retake here. NaVi, this might be their chance to do it.
The issue is, I mean, they need to find a way to get a Molotov into that chicken coop. They have smokes as well to block Simple off. Pimp going for this 1 kill, and it's Guardian who stands in the flames. Pimp sees him get out. This is going to be so difficult for Liquid, though.
He's got the pistol out. Great play from Pimp right now. He's going to pick the kill, but Simple picks off 1, and Flamey with the 3rd kill of the round. Hiko spraying through the... Oh, he's almost getting it. Simple not hitting the shot. Running cross, and there it is. Simple through the chicken coop. Going to be able to take him out with a Deagle. What a battle at the end, and a 7-1 scoreline. Looked like that could have gone either way. But you got to get it to NaVi. That rush really worked out.
Yeah, well, there's the change of pace. The knowing they're going up against the double ops. And the crazy thing is 7 rounds in a row for Team Liquid. And look at the bye they have to bring out after just 1 loss. NaVi has struggled so much to finally get a win on the board, but they've got the kills in the past few rounds that have depleted this economy. A shotgun on Hiko, JDM only a pistol. So can they still have success early on in the rounds without those AWPs? That's the question they've got to be asking themselves.
And Liquid right now, I mean, 7 rounds is already quite a good milestone to be hitting here in the first half. But if they can convert it into even like 9 or 10, then they'd be in a great spot, you know.
Well, the danger as well, yesterday against Fnatic, Liquid jumps out to some very early leads in the first half, and then they go on a massive losing streak, which allows Fnatic to get back in the game. Semifinals, best of 3 against NaVi, you cannot let that happen.
Pimp holding alone over at A with just a scout here. So gonna be a little bit tricky maybe. On the other side, Guardian, does he have the angle for it? We've seen them already try, but Hiko gonna win a fight against Seized. That is not a bad start, and gonna be a bit of a grenade in. Pimp not hitting the shot, and looks like we are gonna see an A execute.
There's no one actually in the A bomb site. Pimp was the only one there, and he had to go wrap around through the double doors, so Hiko finally gets in with a shotgun. There's 2 Molotovs. If they're gonna be used on the site, Hiko could be in a lot of trouble. And there's 1. That's gonna flush Hiko out. And he's actually got to dodge the other side, and he gets there. I'm not sure if they spotted him. Pimp is here as well, so there's a chance for Liquid.
If they haven't spotted him, that could be huge. Nitro gonna be jumping around their corner. Pimp has gone down already, and Hiko picks up 1. It's low range. He can't actually get the shot on Guardian. You could tell he wanted to, and Nitro gonna be sneaking in, taking out Simple. It's 2 versus 3 with 20 seconds. The bomb is gonna be going down. NaVi have to win this round. They cannot let it go. Liquid, they would almost secure the first half, just winning this 1 round. And JDM gonna be sneaking up 5-7. That's all he has. Close range. Guardian out of the round. And now it's all on Edward. He's sandwiched in here. 1-on-3 goes down to Nitro. And Liquid, what a big win for them. 8-1.
What a tough round for Liquid to win, but I mean, they almost get punished multiple times. NaVi has that executed perfectly. Molotov forces Hiko out. I'm not sure what was happening on the NaVi side, but no one there to punish him running across the bomb site. Great recovery, and Hiko with that shotgun getting 2 kills.
There were some really good counter flashes coming out, I think, as Hiko was transitioning into the back of the bomb site. So I'm wondering if that was what kept NaVi from getting that pick off, but it certainly made a big impact in the round.
The pistol round, we see 2 players push up B for Team Liquid. We saw Nitro get aggressive up drop and drop down with the AWP for that no scope. Now we have JDM. That's
what a champion.
Interesting. I like it. But then we see this round JDM. He has a fast flank coming in with the 5-7. So Liquid being very aggressive away from the action on this map and very mobile, proactive in taking those flanks.
Look at Captain American down there with the shirt and the hat and everything. I love that.
Yeah, that's epic. Well, also the Navi fan right behind him looking a little bit crestfallen.
Just a little bit. I mean, I am very curious to see what Navi are going to be able to do here. They have obviously a fairly broken economy. They could go for 3 AKs, 2 Tech 9s and try for another really quick B here. But they're going to have to dig deep to find some sort of confidence.
Yeah, the tough part if you do that buy is that, you know, you'd have to save in the next round if you don't win it. So, especially if you don't get the plant. So here it looks like they're just going to go for some upgraded pistols. They're going to have some armor as well. The big thing is the next gun round Navi has, they want Guardian to have that AWP. They want everyone else to have the AK-47. So if you go for that kind of pistol buy...
Well, hello, Reddit. That's a meme. 10th round is coming up, and Hiko going to be in the drop here. We've got 3 men running into the B-bomb side, and Navi on the other side. I'm not sure if they would have sort of sped up behind it, but the Molotov's certainly going to make sure they have to wait just a little bit.
Look at, again, aggression away from action. Look at Pimp. He's already pushed out. They know this is coming. 4 players of Liquid here. This is a perfect defense. Nades raining in through the smoke as well. This is going to be very uncomfortable for Navi.
Even more so now that JDM is stepping up in the back here. More grenades are coming in. Nitro and Pimp are both ready for it. Coming in from behind Pimp, it's going to be scary. JDM, he misses a shot, but it almost doesn't even matter. Edward gets a kill and a follow-up, which is a pretty good job on him, but nowhere near enough to change what's happening right now. Navi, they have the money to buy. I mean, Guardian has got 2 kills. Ceased has got 3, and we're starting the 11th round right now. What's happening, Moses?
There's not enough kills coming out for the Navi side, obviously, but the big thing has been, I mean, it just stems from that double op setup that started everything out. No one from Navi is feeling comfortable in this match right now because Liquid just stops them cold. They haven't even really been able to do anything they've wanted because they've lost too many players early on in these rounds. Guardian, this is where you look to him with the AWP. Your star player, the big name player on Navi next to Simple as well. This is where you say one of these guys has got to come up with something to get them back in the game.
Pimp all the time varying that position. You could tell over at long. Guardian actually boosted up there, and it will be Flamey to pick up the kill. That's very important on the leash, but JDM is there. Are they going to realize it's not that often you would have 2 people on the plateau? And oh, what a great creep in. Guardian taking out JDM, and finally something is working for Navi. They simply must convert this into a win.
That is very confident aggression out of the Liquid side between JDM and Elige. Unfortunately, they don't capitalize on the missed shot from Guardian, so it's going to be ever tougher. But Liquid, they make the right call. This is a gamble. Nitro, Pimp, and Hiko all here at the B bomb site. They're saying, if you guys hit this site, we have a chance. If not, maybe they just go for a save of these 2 rifles because they're running out of money again.
Well, right now, the gamble is paying off. They're actually walking in here. There are 40 seconds left, so they could turn it around, but I'd be very worried right now if I was a Navi fan. They have even Molotovs left here on Pimp. He could zone out the push coming in. He's got the UMP, but there's just too many people on the other side. And he's going to pick up a headshot there. Great news for Navi. Now it's all down to Hiko here. AK and a 1-on-5. He's going to spray down Guardian. Goes for a second, but will not be enough. Simple to take him out. And Navi picking up a second round finally. And the money, the bank on JDM, he's got 8,700 at the beginning here. They could spread it out and go for another buy.
Yeah, he's going to have an AWP, so he's dropping an M4 over, and it goes right back into that double op setup that gave them so much success. He go back on the shotgun as well. You could see some of the ideas from Team Liquid that round trying to get back into it from the 3-on-5 deficits. The pop flashes just weren't quite landing on the Navi players. So slow-paced round, once Navi gets the opening 2 kills, it works out for them. And the other benefit is living with that many players surviving. They're building up some money of their own just after 1 victory. So still not out of this half just yet as Team Liquid. This would be a big slip up if they let Navi get back into it.
Especially, I mean, if Navi win the remaining rounds and win the pistol round, we could practically have a tied scoreline. I mean, it's a lot to ask, but you never know. This time, Pimp not being too aggressive, but on the other hand, he's got Nitro there with him, and that hasn't happened before like this, so a really big trap. Pimp has been alone over here pretty much every single time, so if Navi were to come and check, they probably wouldn't guess it.
The disadvantage for this kind of a setup is look how far they're away from rotating to the B bomb site. Once this attention starts coming in, Hiko forced out with the shotgun, and Navi, they've gained control of drop, so this is where you look to that stack towards A-halls and wonder, how is it going to break up? Who's going to rotate over first? And it's looking like it's going to be Nitro with that M4.
Eco setting up for a bit of a pop flash, going to turn around, the smoke's almost fading, he's in there, he misses the kill, and C's going to pick up a quick double instead. Elige also going down, and now Nitro catching Flamey, even as he's jumping, that should have probably been a kill, but it just isn't. And JDM, he's a very good rifler and AWPer, but in the back line here, it's just too much and simple, not even going to give him the chance. And Pimp, obviously, not that much he could do here, except try and save the AWP.
What a play from C's to open that round up. 2 kills in the drop. Yeah, Pimp just needs to try and save this AWP. I don't think they're going to let him. He's already got one wrapping around. That's Edward coming up to the A site. So Pimp is going to have to fight his way out of this round, and he can't even get the first shot. Simple has come alive here. He's got 12 kills for his team, leading the way.
Yeah, that actually ties him with Hiko. They are soulmates and everything, so maybe that's the reason why there's some sort of cosmic balance going on. But 9-3 being the scoreline. And finally, NaVi have started to show some signs of life. Still wish we could see a little bit more out of Guardian. I mean, some of these rounds, if he opens them up with the AWP, then NaVi, just everything becomes so much easier for them. Yeah, that round that he legs Pimp down in danger stairs, and then, you know, the other round where he misses that shot as Elige swings out over towards B. They win that round anyways, but you can see a little bit of maybe Guardian not feeling comfortable or lack of confidence through the start he had. But a tactical pause here from Liquid. Out of money, they've got to figure out, do they want to double save here and let NaVi get to 5 and go for that last round of the half, or are they going to try and come up with a game plan for the next round? They would have the 3-round loss bonus, so maybe...
Yeah, probably next round.
Maybe they could do it. I mean, they obviously wouldn't be able to buy into the double-up thing that's been working out well for them, so they would have to be a little bit scarce still, but I think they might be able to do it. I sort of wish they had just a little bit more money so they could go for like 5 grenades, just because it's been B a couple of times here, so get the timing down right, maybe it works.
Yeah, I mean, NaVi is, I mean, this is that them, NaVi figuring out to go away from their plan that they came into. So much A pressure early on, and they really haven't been doing it. They haven't been committing very many bodies to those A halls. They've pretty much lost all those rounds where NaVi tried to take over A halls. So great job by Pimp over there, and now it comes down to this B defense where C's has had some fun. Simple starting to come alive with some of those nice shots from B platform.
Well, the timeout is done. It was a tactical one for Team Liquid. We're heading back in the game, so make some noise here in New York. It's going to get exciting now. We're nearing the end of the first half, and Team Liquid, they are playing out of their minds right now, and their fans are definitely feeling it. NaVi are starting to claw their way back in the game, and you never know. This is a world-class team. You give them any little bit and they can steal the whole game away. Flamey gonna be first through the smoke. JDM takes down one and shooting in the back here. Elige not quite connecting, and he's gonna be going down. Edward cleaning up left and right, and C's taking out Nitro. So this is just all good news for NaVi.
You could see a little moment of danger though, but NaVi now starting to get very, very clinical with these executions onto the B bomb site, and this is really stumping Liquid. Even when they have the guns, the AWPs. Oh, that's interesting, lands on his head. Gonna get out with the AK-47. This would be huge. We've talked about how little money they have. If Pimp's able to get away with this gun, that's a big, big benefit. Drop it over to Hiko, drop it over to Nitro, who might not be able to get nades if they don't have this AK. So smart play from Pimp here to just bail out very quickly.
Running and making a lot of noise, Edward, and you can clearly tell Pimp he realized immediately. Edward gonna be falling back a little bit here. I think Pimp has a good chance to maybe get a second kill if he's just gonna get the timing down right, which it doesn't feel like he will. That's unfortunate.
Could even take the op at a Guardian's hand if timing was a little bit more fortunate, but obviously not wanting to take any fight whatsoever. So NaVi still a ways to go, but they're clawing themselves back into this. 3 straight for NaVi.
Oh man, a bit of sadness here. $100 more on Pimp, and he could have bought an AWP, dropped the AK, and then they could have at least had the one up. So that would have been a little bit interesting, but just $100 shy.
That's that one more kill he didn't get.
That's it. That actually would have made a difference in the game here. We're in the 14th round, almost at the end, and NaVi, that's 3 rounds in a row for them. So those timeouts, something is working for them.
And a lot of those rounds coming at the B bomb site, so now you can see their kind of their thought processes. They've gone back 3 players over towards A because they know Liquid's going to want to put some more attention at B. So thinking that Pimp will once again be isolated somewhere if they can just find him. But that's kind of the game plan they had at the beginning as well, is punish A and then go to a weakened B. Well, they switch it up. Now they're punishing B, and they're at least pressuring a weakened A early on.
Some Molotovs being used here, but NaVi still have so many to deal with, and the same is not true for Liquid, and that's why we were talking about the economy for them, not quite there. Elige is very close to the plateau. See if they're going to be able to do it. No one right now is actually in drop for NaVi, so they could just all be going out. Seized is going to be running back with the bomb a little bit. Elige, can he get the first entry here? No grenades on him just yet. He's turning around for the flashbang. Simple right on the other side. Seized, only going to get the one kill. He needs a bit more. And it's going to be Simple to follow it up with a shot on JDM. Elige sprays down one and turning for it. 180, takes out Simple, and it's a one. Kill Hoyen, see if he could get a little bit more right now. A 2-on-2 and Pimp gonna make it a 1-on-2. Edward goes down. Elige with a triple kill. My God, they gave him just a little bit of space and he took it all. 13 on him, topping the scoreboard for Team Liquid.
The patience on Elige to stay in that corner throughout this execution as Molotov's dodging flashes. At any one point, the timing, if he looks away at the wrong moment, he just gets punished as his teammates are falling and he pounces at the exact right moment. A brilliant round from him. Good rotation from Pimp as well, finding Flamey. Everything working out for Liquid in that round.
Well, NaVi, lucky for them, they still have plenty of money in the 15th round here, so they have gone all in on a double up of their own. And JDM has one in his hands as well. Pimp gonna try and see for the aggression here. Simple way out of the open. That timing could have almost worked out.
It almost did, but it seemed like he peeked with his knife out. He didn't feel any pressure, so he's like, okay, no one's here. I just want to push it. So small mistake from Pimp, but he doesn't get punished for it. NaVi again, just seems like they want to put some bodies over towards A to prevent some of these pushes that maybe we might have just seen out of Pimp, but now with the bomb over towards B, they are putting a lot of pressure here. Guardian with this AWP waiting for the smoke to fade, but he's got Elige immediately to his left.
A bit of a weird corner to be trapped in there if you are Guardian. Pimp once again has backup, and as you were pointing out, that will weaken the B defense quite a bit. Hiko, Elige, and JDM are over there, and you can tell NaVi starting to gravitate towards that side of the map. And in that corner, Elige, Simple's coming in. He actually has a Molotov, so they could check that corner hard if they wanted to, but they need Simple to get down from drop. He's not going to do it, so right now Elige, a little bit safe in the corner. Guardian going to be walking in. He's looking the wrong way. Hiko in, drop, picking up one. Elige going to get the one kill. Elige with a double, and Hiko with one of his own sees the last man left. That's going to make it 11-4 at the beginning of the end of the first half here. Can't believe it. Hiko and Elige just rock solid on that bomb site.
And it's all off the back of the double op setup, but Liquid showing a little bit of diversity in their strengths as well. When they can no longer afford it, a 3-round losing streak, they actually come back to win those last 2 rounds. So they don't let NaVi get all the way back into the game. It's still a very dominant first half for Liquid.
So what is the recipe here for NaVi? How do they get back? They are so far behind. They're down 7 rounds. Obviously winning the pistol is going to be it, but they're playing on the CT side now. What do you think about Liquid's T side? Is it going to be enough to get the last 5 rounds?
You'd hope so. They struggled with it a little bit yesterday, but I mean the big goal for NaVi right now is they had money issues that entire half. They have to do the same exact thing to Liquid now. They have to be able to punish this offense. They have to make sure that they can't always have the AWP on JDM.
Well, the second half is going to become up any second. Stay with us, and we'll be right back. 2 here in ESL 1 New York starts off in a very similar fashion with just some unexpected power coming out of the North American teams. Liquid winning the first half here on Cobblestone in the first semifinals, 11-4. They need to continue. It is not done yet, but you can tell there was some true madness going on, and NaVi just seemed unprepared for it.
Yeah, the aggression out of Team Liquid, a great game plan coming in. They were actively denying map control, actively denying information for the NaVi side, shrinking the map. And it really made them feel uncomfortable to start that first half. Now, they did have a decent amount of success in the middle portion, but I mean, you look at these score lines, and you hate to kind of bring this up as a point, but Guardian with 3 kills and 38 ADR, Edward with 38 ADR himself, like, that can't happen. If you're not putting kills on the board, you at least need to be getting more damage, having some kind of an impact. But that's 2 players that are very, very quiet for the NaVi side.
I almost wonder if it was a mental thing for Guardian. He lost a lot of battle early on to Pimp over a long, and I mean, AWPing, and everyone says this is like a confidence-based role, right? You really need to believe that you can win some of these fights, and when you lose 3 or 4 in a row, it gets tough.
Yeah, I mean, you need to believe that, you know, you're the best at all times as an AWPer, especially to just take those duels. Oh, and look at Liquid. They don't want to slow down. They want to pile it on, and this is a great call. There's only 1 defender here. NaVi stacks over towards the A bomb site. Simple. He's got a big job to do again, and they haven't found him out just yet. There's a shot onto Nitro. They're going to swarm around him, though. Oh, and he's gooshed up. There he goes. Elige, of course, with the opening kill and pistol round.
Oh man, that's tough. Hiko in the corner as well, missing some shots, but he's going to pick up seized either way and swapping out for the USP. Always a good choice. Flamey going to be overwhelmed here. He does get 1 kill, but following up, Hiko trying to see if he can stall him in a little bit. The bomb is down, and there's no kit currently picked up on NaVi. That's a big issue. There's Guardian out of the round. Edward, Flamey coming back into it, hitting the headshots. Now it's a 2-on-2. Can they get the last couple of kills? And they need this round more than anything. Edward going to be going down now. Flamey trying for it. He's almost out of time. If you can't find that kid, there's not that many seconds left here on the bomb. Flamey charging in, and look at how they're dodging him. He's gonna get the kill. It's a 3rd for him, but in the back line, Pimp, all he has to do is wait, and he's gonna win it. Liquid, they pick it up 12-4 now.
Pimp played that so smart. He just says, Nitro, do whatever you want. I'm playing for the bomb. You're on your own. Looked a little dodgy there, that aggression from Liquid to try and retake drop. That got stopped cold, and that actually turned that round very, very scary. So smart of Hiko to fall away from that fight, but you got to say Liquid, they just blindly get a big tactical advantage in that round by choosing to rush the B bomb site to split it very quickly, because NaVi had 4 players at A.
That has to be the sweetest taste if you're a Peacemaker, just to make that call and then followed up by a big win like that. Liquid cementing their lead and making life very difficult for NaVi, who have picked up obviously pistols and armor and a couple of grenades. You can't blame them for that.
Well, I mean, you'll remember that Team Liquid stomped NaVi on this map at the major, but the big, you know, the one caveat to that was Simple. That was like his god tier game of the tournament. He was single-handedly just destroying this team. So even with Simple on the other side of the roster, Liquid's still piling it on.
They pretty much need this round here, NaVi. A big comeback into the second half would be just what they are lacking. A bit of a flashbang in, checking all the corners, all the fundamentals coming out here for Liquid. They're not leaving anything to chance, and neither is Edward, picking up 2 big kills with the 5-7. He's going to be taken out, but it's damage done, and he's also left Elige very low on health. Flamey, oh, the timing. He's going to get the kill on Pimp anyway. Comes back out and walks right into Hiko. It's still a 2-on-2, but the health advantage is with NaVi, and with Guardian walking up in the back here again with the 5-7. Can he find Hiko? He sees the angle. Elige now, the last one left, a bullet away from death. Simple going to be walking in. They're looking for the headshot on either side, and Simple not quite hitting it yet. This is really scary. They need this round, and they've almost done it. NaVi, a single bullet away, but Elige, he's going to pick it up for the triple.
Look at that smile as well.
10 health is 9 more than you need, Moses, and it worked out.
They even ask him for his HP at the end. And just that response of 10 has just got to be so tilting. It's got to be such a rough thing to realize that you just didn't land 1 bullet. So, I mean, that's scary, though. Liquid, you know, they had great anti-ecos in the first half, but that's what really killed them against NaVi. That's what really hurt them in those matches. The big leads in the first half were squandered because they, even winning pistol round, they lost the second, and they almost do it again here to NaVi. So barely surviving thanks to heroics from Elige. But now, I mean, they rebuy up into the SMGs. They want that bonus money. They know this round they're going to be going up against no armor, so there should be a lot less danger for Liquid.
They're very far back on this bomb site here. NaVi going to be trying to sort of playing a little bit of catch-up and be running in and not with any particular tactic either, just sort of funneling through the front doors there. Guardian.
I mean, again, this is one of those situations where it almost looks like Navi's a little bit broken, like surprised by the level that Liquid has brought into this match. So this first gun round, it'll be really interesting to see what NaVi comes in with.
I mean, the maps could make a really big difference because obviously Train, I think, is going to be coming up as the second map. So we know NaVi are very good on that. It's going to be the end of Guardian here. Doesn't save anything. 14-4. Who was expecting this? This whole tournament has been mad.
Crazy things happen when you get here on North American soil. There's always the big upsets. It's the crowd, I think.
It is the crowd, and we are getting more and more North American tournaments, which is very exciting. For one thing, IEM Oakland is also going to be coming up, so obviously you guys should definitely go and buy some tickets for that as well. Just going to plug that in there right now in case you're digging the energy here. You can't miss out on it. Seized, going to be taken out immediately. Simple with a good kill on JDM to follow it up. NaVi, it's now or never, and Simple stepping up, getting another one in before he finally gets taken out. A great grenade raining in on Flamey, looking for a little bit more damage. They may be able to take him down. That Molotov, oh no, it bounces out of the map. I think that was supposed to go towards the doors. They're going to get in the bomb plant here, but I don't think Nitro's going to live through this.
Yeah, Simple the hero with 2 kills. Another fast-paced round. Oh, Nitro gets 1, but good trade from Flamey. But another fast-paced split onto this B bomb site, basically pissed around with rifles. And NaVi, I mean, Seized wasn't ready for it. He gets taken out very, very quickly. And Simple with those 2 kills, the first 2 kills for NaVi in the round, just slows that down, takes out the majority of the danger in that hit.
She's looking at the scoreboard and the fact that Elige has sort of a 3 kill death ratio here. He's 22-7-7. He's leading for most kills, most assists, and least deaths on his team.
He's been so efficient in the way he's getting this done.
Absolutely. I mean, the real question is, can he continue into the next map too? I mean, we see this every once in a while where a player will have a really big map and then they sort of fall off. But right now, he's doing a lot of work for Liquid.
More fast pace from Liquid. Nitro gonna lead the way. He's got Edward close up. He spots out the shoulder. And there it is, Elige with 2 kills. Again, playing the hero. And they're not gonna slow down. Doors are smoked off. They could get in here. The Molotov's gonna block off all these choke points. This is so aggressive, and NaVi is locked behind the utility of Liquid.
Oh, and here's the shot coming out. Elige, he's already got the double grenade. Gonna be raining in. Sees close range. He's finally gonna take him out. Oh! Simple coming up with 2 massive kills. Taking out Pimp and JDM and leaving Hiko. 1 versus 3 now. 1-on-2. He's got so much time for this battle. They shouldn't be giving it to him 1-on-1. They got to be careful that they don't just challenge him alone. Hiko looking for the second kill, but he's out of bullets. And Simple pick up a triple. And NaVi, they win another round, 14-6. Big round for Simple.
Another huge one. He gets very fortunate that they line up to that spam, but I mean, really aggressive by NaVi on that retake, coming through the Molotov, just jumping down and not even caring. If they don't get into that site, that 1 kill with the UMP was huge.
The one issue that I'm really seeing here, Moses, now that we've got a bit of a Liquid timeout going on, is that with the North American region playing better and the South American region obviously been good for quite a while, and we've seen some of the Chinese teams playing really well, and some of the really big European teams are sort of struggling a little bit. We might have to come up with new memes one day. That's a struggle.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Something I don't look forward to.
I don't think anyone expected to have to give up the NA memes.
No, definitely not. I mean, fortunately, Astralis will win the next major, so we've got that going on for us. At least that will happen. But
trust me, Anders, hope and belief are not the only thing that can elevate a team.
If it were, though, just entertain this. You know, be in a really good spot. I don't know what to say. We are starting in the 21st round, and you see the stats here for Elige. He's looking, I guess, focused, but I mean, right now he's just playing very impressive. He should have a huge smile on his face. He's doing everything that's needed. Oh, that is so cute.
That is cute. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting because it's been so fast-paced for Team Liquid in these opening rounds. Pissed around these first 2 gun rounds have basically been rushes. So what does the Liquid have if they have to fall back to slower tactics? I think that's where you're going to have to rely on JDM with the AWP to have a slow-paced tactic. And he's nowhere near the money for that. I think that would have to be Hiko or Pimp would have to actually have to drop him one if they wanted to switch into something slow.
We're very interested to see if NaVi can mentally bring themselves back into this game. They've just had nothing working for them, but finally, they've won 2 rounds in a row here on the CT side after losing the pistol in the first 3 rounds. It is going to be a really long uphill battle for them. And we do have, I think they are going to try and resume the game finally. But yeah, it's going to be just a little while here. This round, we're already seeing Tech9s coming out from Liquid, so...
Yeah, I like this. You've had a couple gun rounds. You've tried the fast-paced thing, and it's gotten you some success initially. But I mean, Simple's been the real hero that's kind of neutralized, you know, the 2 entries from Elige that he gets. So they're in a 4-on-3, and Simple comes in with his own 2 kills. Over towards B, it's a similar situation where Simple stops it cold. So he's having a stellar early start to the CT half for NaVi, trying to get them. Yeah, I mentioned that they looked broken at the end of that first half. Well, he's trying to kind of fix that. He's, you know, tinkering a little bit, seeing what he can correct in the NaVi mindset at the moment, kind of holding them in this game.
And there is no better person for it than Starix, it seems. I mean, he's had a long history of playing with these people. Some of them going quite far back, maybe especially Edward.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's obviously the man for it. If anyone could, it's him. We'll see if it's going to be working out or not. NaVi practically needs to win 10 rounds in a row here. Elige already going to be taken out there. Trying to take the fight. Looked like it went on for a little while, so I'm maybe lucky for C's that no one was following up on that, but in the meantime, the push happening up the slope towards the A-bomb side, and Guardian is actually very much alone in the back here. A little bit scary, but he's doing a decent job with a grenade and the follow-up from the M4, so just a clean and nice round for NaVi.
Yeah, and a little unfortunate that that one Molotov up in towards drop actually cuts off Hiko from supporting Elige in drop, so he's just out of the fight the whole time, but 14-7, here's the op on JDM, the AKs on everyone else. You imagine this would be a little bit slower pace to see where JDM's going to go with this AWP. Interestingly, they don't switch into it on the NaVi side.
No, they don't, and they did lose a lot of fights early on, so maybe that's the reason why they said, let's not try and rely on that. But yeah, this style from Liquid is sort of similar to the one that NaVi were trying early on. They got JDM out in the open here, and he's waiting for any kind of aggression on the other side, and we'll see when that doesn't happen, because we can tell on the new map it won't. What are they going to do after that?
Quickly, I mean, this is just watching for any kind of push, any kind of aggression that would give information over to NaVi, and it seems they're all like readjusting over towards B. Oh, that spam from Hiko is so close. And this is scary. I don't think this is a smart play from C's. After the spam, I don't think Hiko's going to be aware that this is a possibility.
If he walks further, there are 3 men waiting on the other side, but if he just waits here, it could work out. Hiko right on the other side is so close, and there's the kill. Seized, he's sticking around, he wants the Eke, that might be a bad move. Oh, he's gonna be going down. Greed.
Yeah, tries to go for a little bit too much, sticks around too long and gets nothing, and in fact, he just gets punished for it, so he gives up the equalizing kill. It's down to a 4-on-4. Liquid still 40 seconds left on the clock, and they haven't decided anywhere they want to go. Looks like Elige is going to stick around. What he might try and do, once this B hit comes in, nope, he's just going to fall away. I was going to say he might just peek up and try and cut off that one rotation from the A site to double doors. But Liquid's got a tough task. 2 players for NaVi inside the site, and it's Simple again at the chicken coop.
They don't have really almost any grenades left, NaVi, to try and hold this back, and that could be a big problem. But there are no Molotovs to clear out Simple either. Nitro already down on the main floor of the bomb site. 15 seconds left. They need to do this. Simple out of the round. JDM, that AWP really paying off. The bomb punt has happened as well. NaVi, they cannot lose this round, but they will. Elige taking down Guardian, and Edward in the back line. 1-on-4. He's going to be going down.
Huge play from JDM. He doesn't open things up, but just the initial pressure from Nitro. I mean, smart execution from Team Liquid. We're seeing some of that methodical execution out of them right now. Nitro jumps out, cover the smoke. He's just watching one side of the chicken coop for that peek from Simple. JDM's got the other side, and eventually they force him out with some spam. That's a great play from JDM.
But if you're Nitro, how often can you even rely on being able to just sit there? Guardian goes down. They had the double up set up, but JDM simply shuts him out of the round. It is map point right now for Team Liquid. NaVi needs to win 8 rounds in a row to fight into overtime and then try and win it. An almost insurmountable task, but Simple. Without the X-ray, you got to figure that was not an easy shot.
No, and I don't think Nitro expects him to be able to peer over the smoke like that, and even going for more, just spamming through with a no-scope. It's going to be tough for Liquid. Does he actually tag Hiko there?
I sincerely hope not. Just don't want to see any more jumping shots coming out of Simple. He's going to be falling back onto the stairwell here. Got to be careful. Grenades raining in, followed up with a Molotov, and out in the open. Oh, Pip! Double spray, Flamey and Simple out of the round, and now seized. He has to defend this bomb site. Backup is coming, but it's so far away. He's got to stay alive, and he just won't. JDM taking him out, and now Edward 1 versus 4. What can you even do at this point in time? NaVi, they started off bad, and Simple couldn't save them. He really tried, but it wasn't enough.
I believe it was Edward in San Jose last year that dashed Liquid's hopes by winning a 1-on-4, so a chance here. Pimp right behind these doors. Elysia's low HP. The plant's going to go down. Edward, he's going to clear it, but Pip wins it. Starts the round with 2. Ends it with that kill onto Edward, and Team Liquid a 16-7 dominating victory on Cobble.
Absolutely impressive. That looked like Liquid were much more prepared, and NaVi were not able to turn it around. They definitely tried in the second half. They had a good streak of 3 rounds that they won, but they couldn't change that mentality. And Liquid, just like yesterday, they look so fired up. They look hyper motivated to go the distance here.
Yeah, they seem very, very polished at the moment. And on top of that, you got to remember, it took way too long for Edward and Guardian to get involved in this game. That's not going to happen 2 maps in a row, so Liquid's still a long way to go.
Definitely true. Guardian ending that map on 7 kills and 25 for Elise, just to try and draw a bit of a picture of how wide that gap was. But very, very impressive for Team Liquid. And Duncan was rightly pointing out, we haven't even seen Team Liquid play Cobblestone in this tournament yet. So that's just very interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks great. The other big thing is NaVi is actually, I believe NaVi beat all 3 remaining teams in this tournament in the Swiss format that we had throughout the group stage. So NaVi with wins over all 3 teams, and at the moment, Liquid just piling it on them at the moment. Another great showing from Elige, who had a dominant game.
Elige, I'm going to look forward to see if he can continue, but it really wasn't just him. The gap on that team, I mean, Nitrous at the bottom of 14, but then you got 17, 18, 18. So the rest of the team is working just fine. Yeah, well, the big thing is, well, they're not putting up the sheer amount of numbers. Obviously, they don't have to, but each of them had their own impact plays. JDM, a couple very nice rounds of the AWP. Pimp, obviously, that last round was great. Nitro had some good entries. Hiko just, playing solid, just consistent in his role and his position on the map. So I think that shotgun round as well, where he gets 2 kills early on in the first half to extend that streak. So everyone's just pitching in exactly what they need to at the right moments. There's kind of a break between the first and second map here. NaVi, in your experience, Moses, how good are they at utilizing it? How good are they at the mental reset? That's the tough part, because, I mean, NaVi's been known in the past to be that team who can't really mentally get back into games. We've seen them just get extremely frustrated. Remember, they made it to the finals of Columbus, lost the first map, a very close map, and then we saw Flamey stay on the stage just staring at his computer screen while everyone else walked out. So they've been known to have some of that kind of, those attitudes that can't really reset after a tough loss. Well, we are going to get a full breakdown here. The analysts are in place. So, Alex, please help us understand what just happened.
With great pleasure. Who better than YNK and Thorin to guide us through exactly what did go down on Cobblestone. Liquid picking it up, and I just want to remind anyone who didn't quite catch our preface to this. It was a big statement from both the analysts saying that Cobble was the test. And Liquid seemed to have passed with flying colours, wouldn't you say, Duncan?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this game really showed me the differences between NaVi with Simple and NaVi without. Like, on paper, they're a better team, certainly. I think in time, maybe they can become a better team as well. But one of the staples of NaVi's game was Cobblestone, because since people would pick, like, Overpass or Train to take out there, they'd always be playing Cobblestone in series, and they had an amazing T-side. And you saw in this game here, T-side was very lacking, actually. I mean, obviously, very good CT defense from Liquid. You have to credit that. They even managed to have, like, triple AWP running at one point in time somehow. But NaVi's T-side was actually quite woeful, I thought.
We were talking about this, Alex. So on the maps that are harder to play on T-side, where you need more coordination, usually the teams that are the best on it in the world are the teams that have a really strong default, understand the map very well, and NaVi was one of those teams, the previous iteration of it. But here in this game, in the first half, you would see in the first probably even 4 gun rounds, there would be a man down in the first 15 seconds of the round, just getting picked off, mostly by Pimp, who did a great job towards that A long area, and that obviously makes your life a whole lot more difficult because you're spread around the map. It's not so easy for you to react on the other side of the map, and you're not even in position that early on in the round.
Is it worth singing the praises of Mr. JDM here, given that his counterpart on NaVi was completely distant? We haven't seen Guardian with a performance like this in oh so very long. 7 frags.
I think Guardian helped out a lot with that himself. Like on that first half there, I mean, here's another thing. Because the T side of NaVi on this map was so based around Guardian's play, I mean, just remember one of the first tournaments of the year was the Star Series. He was exceptional there, even when they were playing against some of the best teams in the world. This game, the first half, I think he had something like 38 ADR. Now, for a player of his caliber, that is absolutely unacceptable. And if you're actually an AWPer, if you have any impact with the AWP, that's going to bring your ADR to a pretty solid range. Even a bad game with the AWP, if you're hitting the shots, you're going to be like 50, 60. So to be that low just shows how he had no impact. And then the T-side never got rolling.
Yeah, you can see the comparison there, that ADR 50 in comparison to the 61 we did see JDM delivering as well. 9 sniper kills to the meager 2. 2 sniper frags from Guardian and an entire map of Counter-Strike. It's been a long time since we saw a statistic like that, Janka.
I think he was off position a lot of the times. He simply wasn't in place to be effective. You know, in situations where he was left, he had to worry about too many angles. Again, I think it's more of a team thing than individual. Yes, Guardian didn't get a lot of kills, but they as a team weren't in good positions on that T side a lot for most of the time, right? It would be much easier if now it was a team like, let's say, NIP, when now that they're playing with a stand-in, they have a lot of set execute, so that's easier. Just bring in a player, you tell him which smokes to throw, which flashes to throw, where he's supposed to look when entering the bomb site. But NaVi is not a team like that. They're a team that spreads around the map, takes map control, and then decides which site they want to hit, right?
People don't realize that. That's actually how Guardian was so exceptional in NaVi. They set everything up with that map control, taking it so that he knows I've got this one area to watch. And if someone peeks there, I'm going to get the kill on them. He doesn't just go, it's not just wandering around the map aimlessly. People always used to contrast Kenny S when he was in Titan, because they knew Titan was built around him. That was the hype. What they didn't realize is Guardian only became the best player when the same thing happened. He had a team that was built around him that made him like the vehicle.
Yeah, of course, we keep talking about these stats, your ADR and your kills, your deaths. These are all available over on the Score Esports application. If you want to go ahead and actually check them for yourselves, we can't always show you all of them. Check Elige while you're at it. When you do get on the Score Esports application on your Google Play or your iOS, when you install it, check out Elige, because another 100+ ADR game from him. And that's going to be one huge step in the right direction for Liquid. They are locked in and ready to go, and just one more win should get them to that grand final. Also, worth mentioning as well is Fuse TV. They're enabling us to put a nice 30-minute kind of show of what ESL 1 has been, and that's going to be available November 14th, I do believe. So we should check that out. That'll be live on TV, so you can show your friends and your family. All right, when we do return, we're going to be talking about Map 2. It's going to be NaVi's pick. We venture into Train, and we'll see if Liquid can go ahead and continue to run with this momentum. We'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, a lot of people said to me that I should stay with Liquid because we had like 2nd place at Major, but I want to stay home. And after that, Natus Winter invited me. I was so proud to be in this team.
Can I use my headset?
Sure.
Hey, bro, it's okay now. Okay.
Everything changed after Valve with new rule about coach. We changed position, so I became 2nd AWP player and Sis became in-game leader. Now everything become more clear. I think it's maximum 6 months, so everyone will know his role. Everyone will do everything. It's very hard to practice right now, get some new rounds. First of all, we want to become champions. I mean, not champion for one tournament. Our team won't win a lot of champions in a row. That's our main goal. Like dominate, like SK did it with 2 majors in a row. Like NaVi did it in 2010. I mean, when it was 1.6, they was crushing everyone. We want to do the same. We want to become new best team in the world.